YouTube! Welcome back to another tournament recap. It's been 10,000 years, and would you believe it, Farfa went and played Macedon in real life. I went on over to the National Championship of the United Kingdom. There was 1,400 players, and I made top 256, which is pretty poor, but listen. I was feeling genuinely really anxious about this event. I was going to play this basically knowing that this was going to be my last major Premier event for like a while. I have another child on the way in like 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm just going to be out of the game. Like, I can't leave 2 young children at home alone to just travel and play Yu-Gi-Oh, you know? A lot of my content is based around entertainment and doing fun sealed stuff like that, and so I didn't really get as much time to play and test as much as I would like. So I'm using the dad excuse, and I also played Fairy Tail. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my deck, my decisions that went into it, my matchups, and of course how I inevitably 0-7'd out at round 13 or whatever it was. All right. So this is my deck list here. I played Fairy Tail. I picked up the idea essentially because I've always had this general philosophy of and I recommend it to other people in similar positions who don't play the game as much, or who have lack of time, or just aren't as good at the game. And that's play a combo deck. Combo decks are easier to play than mid-range decks, than something like Cool Tune for the most part, etc., etc. You need to really kind of understand your opponent's deck. You need to understand the metagame. You need to understand how things around your deck work to really take advantage of something like Cool Tune. Like, the difference between a average Cool Tune player and a good Cool Tune player is pretty night and day. Now, I know people will like meme about how like Rotary is completely brain dead and stacking the top deck is like, but if you're like not that good at the game and understand the format, you're not gonna be like really taking advantage of that knowledge and stacking accordingly, especially with a deck that's pretty that doesn't have that much disruption. So I went with Fairy Tail because it's pretty one-card combo based. I think there's definitely better one-card combo decks in the format. If I could magically become insta-good at, like, Archmage Power Patron, I think I would have played that instead. But I think the Fairy Tail deck was just a lot more linear. And if you do your full combo with Fairy Tail, it's pretty unbeatable. I didn't lose a single game where I went off and did my full combo unimpeded. Even like through like disruptions and stuff, I would still basically win all of my games going first. Now, what does this deck actually do? The basic combo in this deck ends on Zeroa, which is an Omni Negate that, so not Omni Negate, it's a Monster Negate that also pops on Resolution, so non-targeting, by sending a Magistus card, usually itself or something equipped to it. You've got Endymion as the Link monster, which bounces Alistair, the Crowley main deck guy, to your hand and then fuses into Iwas, and Iwas is a mind control, quick effect mind control. You've got Teller, which is a Omni Negate. You've got Fairy Tail Ball, which is a Monster Negate, and you've got Fairy Tail Snow, which you can Book of Moon upwards of 3 times in a turn in this deck. So that's like 6 or 7 disruptions. I did not mean that. So you don't need to be good at the game, right? Like, that was my logic, was I don't need to be very smart. I don't need to be like, you know, super talented and understand the meta that well if I can just negate, pop, negate, book, right? Like, there's only so many cards anyone's going to have in their hand, right? So that was the logic and why I think it's a good strategy for people in similar positions like me who can't sit down and practice as much or learn the game as well, is to just try and go wide with a combo deck and just take advantage of, you know, being able to just completely ignorantly, like, stop your opponent's cards without having to, like, think too hard about them. The main deck is fairly standard. One thing I'll say is, if for anyone who knows anything about, I'm not going to spend too much on deck list because I know, like, a lot of people don't know the deck that much or care. One thing I'll say is I didn't like Ash Blossom in the end. There were a lot of times where I ashed Fua, but I think ultimately this deck really struggles going second. It's just, it doesn't have enough one-card combos going second, at least not based around your normal summon. Spoon is a one-card combo, Luna's a one-card combo, the Field Spell is a one-card combo, Magic Gear technically is a one-card combo, And then various ways to get to them, like for example, Lacrima, are one-card combos. But the problem is that if I was to describe what an ideal one-card combo in Yu-Gi-Oh looks like, imagine this is your end board and this is where you're going, right? You're going into this like soup like end board. A lot of like bad rogue decks like this, the problem with them is that their one-card combos all sort of like branch out and like they reach this point. But to get to this point is they don't always like go straight from like card number 1 down to here. And then card number 2 also goes to here. And card number 3 also goes to here. And then, so this is like the perfect Snake Eye example, right? This is Bonfire. This is Ash. This is Diabell Star. If any one of those cards get stopped, you still go to this point of finality and you end on the same board. The problem with a deck like Witchcrafter is that none of this applies to you. You have lots of one-card combos, but like, if I get stopped on normal summon Zeroa, my other one-card combo in the deck technically is Luna, but I've already normal summoned. My other one-card combo in the deck is Fairy Tail Ball, but I've already normal summoned. So that's the major critical problem with this deck, is that you have a hand that can just be completely choked by multiple normals or multiple cards that get you to the same point. Like drawing Lacrima and Spenta doesn't make your end board better. Not that by that much. And it doesn't like do a diverging path of a combo that still gets you to a wide end board in the same way that if one of them was stopped compared to something like Snake Eye, for example. And someone said like, okay, yeah, that's a healthy thing. Yeah, I know. From a design perspective, that's a healthy thing. We're not talking about healthy game design here. This is tournament gameplay, right? This is talking about trying to win an event, right? Like, I don't care about cards being unfair. So anyway, yeah, that was the logic behind the deck list. And one of the major critical errors I found with this deck is that there are far too many one-card combos, two-card combos that sort of get choked at the same point. And one of the biggest choke points is Wicket. If anyone wants any advice, if you've been playing against Fairy Tail, you don't know anything about the deck, stop this card, you probably win. Now, they have a lot of ways to dodge and get around it, but if you stop this card, you should be fine. It's the kind of heart and soul of the deck and how a lot of the combos get going. So yeah, that's the deck list and how it ended up working out. The side deck was really kind of mishmashed together, but it's pretty simple. Going first, again, to just make... I'm really taking advantage of the fact that I'm playing an ignorant like combo deck. Going first, I put in Tactics and the Solemn Brigade. I usually take out... this is wrong, by the way, I just realized. I did not play Droplet. These are super polymerizations. I've been sitting here yapping this whole time. Why can't I take this card out? Wait, right-click doesn't work? That's so funny. I've just been yapping this whole time. I did not play Droplet. So, going first, I would take out either Crown or Droplet, depending on the matchup, and I would put in the Solemn Brigade, and I would take out a couple of the Charmies, and sometimes Droll, depending on the matchup. I might sacrifice like an engine piece, like I would maybe potentially drop a normal summon like Luna down, just because there are so many one-card combos, and I'm just trying to... actually, no, that's not for going first. Let me think. So, like, a combination of, like, the 3 Charmies, which is 3 cards, plus the Super Polymer... plus a Super Polymerization or Crown, depending on how many I want to go through there to go for talents. And the Solemn Brigade, that makes 5 total cards, so 3 plus 1 and 1, usually. Is my usual side deck pattern for going first. I also played this card, Alchemic Magician and Mistaken Arrest. So basically, the way Alchemic Magician works, it's 3 level 4 spellcasters. You overlay them, you detach, you discard a card, and then you set Mistaken Arrest, and then you Mistaken Arrest your opponent, you draw them, right? This is really, like, weird, but the tournament policy for siding extra deck cards is really fucking convoluted and annoying. I stopped siding this combo going first halfway through the tournament. So, I have extra deck sleeves that are double sleeved with, like, cute little Malice white rabbits on them. And then my main deck is just basic KAMC whites. In order to side deck an extra deck card, your extra deck card in your side deck has to legally be inside of a main deck card. So I have to take out my extra deck card from a main deck card and then sleeve them up into a double-sleeved combination of extra deck cards and then go back and forth and sleeve in and out as I go into Game 2 and Game 3. It is the most stupidest, convoluted, like, policy for tournament play, but I just stop siding it partway through the tournament because sometimes your games last too long. And I'm going to talk about a really intense game where if I actually did that, I would have lost. But yeah, so I straight up just stopped siding. Maybe it's good. I don't know. I just stopped siding it halfway through the tournament because it was taking way too fucking long to side this card. It's funny. Every time I talk about this, some people don't realize you're not allowed to have the same sleeve for your extra deck. You're not allowed to put to side deck an extra deck monster that isn't in the same sleeves as your main deck. So a lot of people tend to use like character sleeves, double sleeved up, like to look kind of cool and stuff with your extra. You're not allowed to do that in a tournament. It has to be in the same sleeve as your main deck. So either in complete unity, side everything in play your cards in the same sleeves as your main and extra, or you have to split them and just use single sleeves, and so it's faster to side that. Because it's genuinely a big time sink to side in and out of an extra deck monster between game 2 and 3. And when time rules are so important, it is legitimately annoying. I still don't understand. Okay. Let me show you an example. Okay, I have the cards here, okay? I have the Alchemic... Did I give back the Alchemic Magician? Oh, I don't have it anymore. Okay, let's take a net. Let's say these are my sleeves here, okay? See this? This is my extra deck sleeves. It's White Rabbit, character sleeves, double sleeved, in broccoli over sleeves. This is my main deck. This is a Mulcharmy Perulia and my side deck. I'm not allowed to have these cards together like this in my side deck. I'm not allowed to do that. You need to take out this extra deck monster, the Artemis, that you're side decking, take it out of both of these sleeves and put them in the main deck so that there is uniformity in your side deck, so that you have 15 flat blank sleeves that are all identical. Okay, I hope you get it now. So you have to constantly put those in and out, and it's so freaking tedious and annoying. It wasted so much time, and I just stopped siding extra deck cards halfway through the tournament, just stuck to the Psalm Brigade. So your opponent can't tell you're an extra deck card. I couldn't care less what if it's telegraphed to my opponent, then so be it. It's such a time waste. Anyway, that's the deck list. All right, let's talk about some gameplay. So altogether, it was a fun event. I had a great experience. I didn't have any issues with my opponents. I didn't have anyone who like annoyed me, or usually you have like some annoying shark or something. But maybe I'm not good enough at the game because those people exist at like the XO X1 bracket at round 12, 13. But everyone was very pleasant. I never had any issues or felt annoyed or uncomfortable by anyone. So yeah, game 1. I played against Mitsurugi. I can't remember if it was a variant of Mitsurugi, but it was Mitsurugi, at least heavy on the Mitsurugi. I won the dice roll and I did the full combo, and I managed to still win through super polymerization. Yeah, so that's another thing about this board, by the way. It doesn't really lose to board breakers, which is nice. You've got your Omni Negate Teller, but if you're really scared of super poly, like if you know you're playing against Branded, like post game 2 and 3, if you go first, you can actually do a combo that makes your board immune to polymerization. You can do a combo with this, Charmer, Quartet, and Bloom. So then you link off your Teller because you're not scared of Nibiru. Like, what's it called? Branded isn't going to Nibiru you, for example. So it basically revives back your Teller, your boss monster, and your Luna. And it says that this card and the special summoned monsters cannot be used as material for your Fusion, Synchro, Exceed, or Link Summon. I think I played against someone who tried to super poly me, and it was an illegal activation. They could not super poly my board because my Teller, my Quartet, and my Luna were immune to super polymerization. So yeah, even if you do get super polyed, you still have Fairy Tale Ball, which is a negate, and you still have Snow, which you can snow your opponent 3 times in this deck. Like, you need like multiple board breakers to stop it, or you just draw Fairy Tale and they lose. But that's a different discussion. So I won the I won the dice roll. I did my full combo, and I still won through super polymerization because we super polyed my Zoroa and my Teller, which was terrifying. But I mean, somehow I just like played Snow Control and won, which is weird because Mitsurugi should be a terrifying matchup for this deck. Because your best card is Fairy Tale Snow, and booking ritual monsters and big Mitsurugis doesn't really do anything. Game 2, I lost to Baguska. I'm not joking. I swear to God, it's round 1 of Nationals. It's like 9 a.m. in the morning. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. All I've had is like coffee and a cigarette for like breakfast. And my opponent summons a Baguska, and I'm just like... He's not banned? He's here? Like, what's he doing here? Like, I didn't have a game plan. I didn't have a side deck, like, thought process of, like, do you know what I mean? I'm like, Baguska? What's he doing here? So that was a jump scare. I don't actually smoke, by the way. Very rarely on occasion. So, like, once a year. At Yu-Gi-Oh! Events, funnily enough. Game 3, I got Super Poly Lava Golemed. I don't know how I won this game. He Super Poly'd me, and he Lava Golemed me. And you still do this. The Quick Play spell card is genuinely completely custom. It's like the best part of this deck is the Quick Play spell. Once Upon a Fairy Tale. You can special up to 1 light Fairy Tale monster each from your hand, grave, and banishment. So there's a line that you can... Well, it's not really a line. It's just like a neat part of the interaction is you can go Chainlink 1, Once Upon a Time, Chainlink 2, Snow, banish like a Machigiru, and a Jania. There she is. You banish, you summon, and then on the new chain, you banish the Once Upon a Fairy Tale, so you activate it, and then you banish for cost of Snow, because this card, if it's banished, you can set itself. So the Snow resolves, summons itself to the field. Then the Once Upon a Time resolves, and summons out the banished Machigiru and the Fairy Tale Luna from the graveyard. So that, and then maybe potentially something, you wouldn't want to do anything. No other Fairy Tales disruption, so it's pointless. So you bring out those 3 monsters in the same play. On the new chain, you go Chainlink 1 Snow, book a guy. Chainlink 2 Machigiru to get a search. Chainlink 3 Gania to add itself to the hand. And then you also have Fairy Tale Luna as a bounce. Oh, and then Chainlink 5, of course, the Once Upon a Time, to set itself back to the field. All on the new chain. Now, it's very funny what the difference is between a good deck and a bad deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Once Upon a Time says special up to 1 light Fairy Tale monster. They made the boss monsters Earth. And Dark, I guess, technically. So, you can't... If they banish Wicket, it's a really rough position. And you can't just revive back Weaver. You can't bring back Teller. So you can only bring back light Fairy Tales. So that was a very annoying restriction. Okay. And also, I guess I got Super Poly Lava Golem, then I don't know, I played Snow Control. I had really good back rows, so I sided in the Judgment and the Solemn Brigade. And I think I just used Judgment on Ritual and then Ashed Habakiri. So... Like, yeah, you can break my board, but, like, I've stopped all your plays. That's why board breakers are not very good against Fairy Tale. Like, unless you draw, like, multiples. Again, if you draw Super Poly and Lightning Storm, then I probably would have been fucked, right? But, you know, even then, I'd still had, like, an Ash in hand, so. So, yeah. Game number 2. What did I play? I full combo through Ash, and I ended up on many interruptions, which I stopped all the pushes. He was playing a mirror match, by the way. Round 2, I'm playing a freaking Fairy Tale mirror match. Game 2, I droll him. I'm feeling really happy. But he still passes on the Omni Negate, and my hand is pretty weak, and he drolls me back. So, I mean, I can't push through that. Game 3, he Fua losses me, and I do this, like, this is, like, it's round 2, and I do that stupid, worthless Alchemic Magician combo. If you get Fua'd in this deck, it's kind of rough. You kind of need to give your opponent, like, 2 draws to get, like, maximum value out of at least setting up Teller, the Omni Negate, and Snow with the Quick Play. What I should have done was I should have given him 2 draws and just ended on Omni Negate Snow. Because Snow is just really powerful in the mirror. You just book the normal summon. You can't special summon Jania. You can't special summon Machigiru because it needs to control an 1850. Well, I suppose it needs it anywhere on the field. So in the mirror match, it's kind of bad. Okay, so it probably loses that and Fairy Tale Ball. But at least like double Snow plus Omni should be enough to beat the mirror match. But instead, I went for that stupid Alchemic Magician play. So I special summoned a bunch of guys from the hand like Jania and Machigiru. And I ended on like the Mistaken Arrest. But the problem is like if you just have Alchemic Magician, Mistaken Arrest, I droll him, but then I have no offense or return power, and he just like kills me on the clapback. So I lost that match, which was unfortunate. His hand was insane as well. He Fuas me, he has Crown, he Dusters, and then he full combos me. And then on my turn, I'm locked onto my own draw. I set a Jania and pass, and then it goes to his turn, and then Like, after he cleared my board, he full comboed me, so. Game 3, match number 3, I lost the roll versus Yummy. I managed to push through a weak board because I fooed him and won. Yummy. Dude, surprising to see Yummy in this day and age. Yeah, so I Fua lost him, so his board kind of sucked, and I just grinded through it. Nothing really special there. Game 2, I Lightning Storm. I hit back row in Yummy, so I hit the surprise and the field spell. But then I think there's like some dumb Yummy play that lets you tag the trap card back onto the field. And he has like Caesar after doing Fiendsmith combo. So like this deck is not good into like Book of Moon Caesar. Like, so it's, yeah. Game 3, I get Drolled and I pass on Teller once upon Judgment Ash. This is why it's so important to bring in the Solemn Brigade. By the way, I had access to Solemn Accusation. I could have borrowed them. Solemn Accusation, if anyone who cares and is interested, I play Solemn Accusation instead of Warning. It kind of depends on the metagame, but a lot of people are on board breakers right now, so I would recommend Solemn Accusation. Because there was one round I got Lightning Storm for double Warning, and I wanted to yep. So I would have played Accusation instead. And that's why also, like, having the Ash, I guess, was nice, because I almost didn't want to play the Ash. So I would have lost really hard to a Lightning Storm there. So I just end on the Omni Negate, Once Upon a Time with Fairy Tale Snow in the Grave, and I also had a Judgment. So I'm pretty sure I Ash Obedience. Another card, by the way, I swear to God. Dude, the amount of times I sat down in this tournament, and my opponent activate cards that are banned in Master Duel, like, oh my God. Like, actual just heart palpitations. He activated Obedience Schooled, and I haven't ashed a card so fast in my life, by the way. I was trying to ash that shit back to the ban list. So he had Sky Striker Drones as his starter, which I Judgment, which was I felt was like really dangerous. Because if I don't Judgment the Sky Striker Drone, he makes Kagari. He adds back the drone. And then even if I Judgment the token summon, he still has a Link 1 on the field. So I think Judgment has to like stop one of the body pushes. Right? Because the only other way they have to get bodies on the board is with the quick play, which is a one-off, and their normal summon. And the bodies I can snow multiple times. So a real choke point for me was the drones, because you can't book the token. Yeah, in hindsight, I could just Judgment the Kagari. That would make more sense. Yeah, I was playing around Red Reboot. But yeah, it ended up working out fine. So, this next round was absolutely heartbreaking, by the way. What are we at here? 2-1. 2-1. I play against Malice, and I win the dice roll, and I get shifted. Game 1. This card's limited, right, guys? It is limited? I'm not mistaken? It is limited. Okay. I play against Malice, and they shifted me. And I made a fusion through it, and I messed up because Zoroas Descent to the Grave is cost to negate, so I lost without much disruption. So, through Shifter, I make Endymion, Magistus. Or I can't remember how I did it. I think I must have had like a Zoroa. Oh, I know what it is, actually. She misplayed. I activate Spoon as my first action, then she Shifters. So I actually had a graveyard for one card. So I go Spoon, discard for cost, add Zoroa, normal Zoroa. Zoroa equip, special back Spoon. Then I make Artemis. That gets banished. But then I use the equipped Zoroa with the Artemis to special summon out the Crowley. And the Crowley I make Zoroa, which is an Omni Negate, and I'm like, okay, this is fine. However, when a monster effect is activated, quick effect, send one face-up Magistus monster to you control to the graveyard cost. So I had a vanilla Zoroa under Shifter. So what I should have done was make Iwas. While this card... During the main phase, quick effect, target another face-up monster on the field, equip this, and then take control of it. So yeah, that was a big misplay. I didn't realize Zoroa wouldn't work under Shifter, so I just had a vanilla Shifter. So I only had myself to blame for that. I think maybe that game I could have won if I could have Iwas stole like the normal summon, because I'm pretty sure she opened like... She opened insane both fucking games, man. It was like Underground Shifter, Gold Sark, like, brother, like, I'm going to die. And then game 2, I go first and I get shifted again. I ended up using a wicket to send the quick play and snow to set up a book for her turn. And then I tactics her hand. And her hand is Dormouse, Underground, Gold Sark, Salesman. So her opening hand was Starter, Extender, Breaker, Shifter, Extender. I mean, what? Dude, like actual custom hand. So what I should have done was tactics away the Salesman, because she goes Salesman, declare quick play, which was stupid of me anyway. Like, why did I set up the quick play but then didn't tactics away the Salesman? I think I thought it worked like Prohibition. So Salesman says you can declare a card name for the rest of this turn. Your opponent cannot activate cards effects with that cards with the same original name, compared to Prohibition, which says declare a card name. Cards with that name and their effects cannot be used. Cards already on the field are not affected. So that's just the thing that comes with experience, right? Like, this is why, like, I'm losing some of these matches, right? I don't have that experience with the format in the tournament. So I should have tactics away the Salesman. Then I would be able to Book of Moon the Dormouse normal summon, and then for the Underground special summon, I could Snow again, and then for the Gold Sark, I would die and explode. I don't know. Maybe it didn't matter. You know what's funny? I don't know if that even mattered. She top decks the Trap card. So her first action is set Trap card, and she's got the Dormouse 3 extenders. So, yeah. So that was 4 turns of Shifter, because she makes Firewall Dragon. Firewall Dragon, you don't have a graveyard. You can co-link Firewall Dragon, and Firewall Dragon can add Shifter back from the graveyard to your hand. I got shifted for 4 turns over the course of two games. So, I don't know. It was maybe salvageable. I maybe could have won one of those games if I played a little bit better. But, you know, I'm going to remove all forms of accountability and personal skill and blame external factors. So, Shifter bad. Yeah, I'm the best. Round 5, lost the dice roll versus Elf Note Power Patron Wowbaz combo pile. The guy from Locals, by the way. Fly all the way down to fucking Birmingham.
Been a fucking steaming mood, yeah? Because I live in a shithole. Do you know what I mean? Birmingham is a fucking shithole.
So I came all the way here to fucking Birmingham to play a guy at Locals. And I lost the dice roll. So, did I draw any hand traps? No. Do you guys know what the Elf Note Power Patron full combo board looks like? It's like Crystal Wing, Trap Negate, Hand Loop, Omega Hand Loop, so 2 hand loops. And I'm sure there's like one more. Dragster. Like, yeah. So, all of my cards were negated. Game 2, I full combo him, and then he passes. I mean, what does Elf Note do if you Book of Moon the guy being special summoned to the middle, right? Probably nothing. Game 3, I drew double Super Polymerization, Brilliona, Genny, Luna, Instant Fusion. Now, this is a really good board. Those are really good breakers against Elf Note. Super Polymerization is absolutely custom against Elf Note because you can make Chorozo. Chorozo requires a spellcaster and an extra deck monster. So you can spin away like a Lucina or something. Sorry, not the Lucina, because it's a Wowbaz play. They play Ecclesia. So you can spin away Ecclesia and Crystal Wing with Super Poly and make a Chorozo. So it's really good. Now the only problem with this matchup is the Trap Negate, which can Omni-negate anything. So with Super Polymerization, what you're really supposed to do is hold the Super Polymerization so that you fuse away ideal... How the fuck do you spell this card? Strelitzia. ideally you do it in such a way that you super poly them when they don't have a synchro on the field and they're trying to revive the Strelitzia from the graveyard that they made with the Crystal Wing. So I super poly away Crystal Wing and Ecclesia, but the problem is that there's still a Dragster left on the field, right? So the Elf Note trap card still negates if you control any synchro, not just the Elf Note synchro. So in an ideal world, they usually target like a Lucina or a Tenia to revive from the graveyard when they negate your card with this Omni. And then you chain Super Poly to remove a synchro from the field. And then that way this trap card still revives a monster, but they don't have a synchro on resolution. So if you're an Elf Note player, if you want some advice, make sure you always have a synchro up on the field, even when you're using Rhapsodia, because you will lose to Super Poly. So a good a good Elf Note player shouldn't lose to that. But yeah, I mean, I drew like Jenny. There are 5 Garnets in this deck, or cards that you don't really want to draw. You don't really want to draw Zeroa. You don't really want to draw Crowley. You don't really want to draw Reliona. You don't really want to draw Genny. You don't really want to draw the Equip spell. And you don't really want to draw the Quick Play spell. Now, the only one of these that's like a turbo hard Garnet is probably like Genny, like Genny, actually. Reliona is kind of a brick as well, and Crowley. These other cards are okay to draw, like, under certain circumstances. The Equip is fine to draw, like, if you have enough, like, normal summons, I guess, in your hand, so it unbricks a bad hand, kind of. And Once Upon a Fairy Tale going first, or going second, is essentially just like a Monster Reborn, which is, you know, it's Monster Reborn, right? So it's not amazing. You just ideally want to tutor this out your deck. So that's the problem with this deck, was I was drawing Genny all day, man. Oh, dude, I was drawing Genny so much, it was depression. It was depression, dudes. So yeah, I lost that game, and then I went 3-3. I went 2-3. Next game, I played against Elf Note again. He Full losses me, but I set up Teller, and I snow twice with Crown to seal it. Yeah, again, I think it's just one of those situations where, like, if you use Fairy Tale Snow to book the first Elf Note monster in the middle zone, they kind of, like, struggle. I think they might have extended with, like, Regina, which is why I snowed twice, and, I mean, I also have an Omni negate, and I have Forbidden Crown, so. Game 2, I double Fua him, and have enough cards in hand to beat the stops for 5 fairies attacking directly for game. Yeah, this was a weird one. I Fua lost him once on, I think it was Medius, but then he adds instead of specials, but then he tries to extend with Regina just to get a Lucina, the Fortuna on the board, and I chain the Fua, so I've got double Fua online. I Pot of Greed. And then from there, he's like, fuck it, we ball. And then just, like, played through the double Fua and hoped that I wouldn't draw enough to kill him, and I did, so... Maxi challenge defeated. This game was ridiculous. I'm in the boonies right now because of the X3 frickin' bracket. So I play against Train FTK. Now, apparently Train FTK is... if you hand trap them quite literally anywhere, they can't FTK you. But they still end on, like, a pretty scary board. So I don't know what's going on. His first action is normal Harvester, and I'm trying to channel the inner Peeps in my head and being like, would that big idiot Ash Harvester? And I'm like, no, I don't think Peeps would Ash Harvester. And then I remember this vague, like, annoying, like, oh my god, the meme is wrong, or however he speaks. And I vaguely remember him saying something about Brutal Dozer 3 years ago. So he goes Harvester, and then he makes, like, a guy, and then, like, does, like, a special of a guy, and then summons, like, there's so many new fucking trains now. He activates Brutal Dozer, he tributes one of his guys, he's special Brutal Dozer, and he can't summon from deck because I Ash him. Now, I asked my opponent at the end of the match, like, was that a good Ash? And he was like, it was fine, but every card in the deck is just an extender. So anyway, I don't know why I decided to play this. This was a big risk. I Ash Brutal Dozer versus Train FTK, and I somehow grind through like 3 negates, and I win after 30 minutes. So if you don't... Does anyone know the name of the new train card? It's called like Castrate Yourself or something. Castro? No, not that one. There's a new rank 10 train. What's it called? It's a negate. It's a solemn strike that burns you. And this entire deck's gimmick is burning, by the way. The 5k one? Yeah, what's it called? I need the name. Like, oh, it just has Gustav in the name, doesn't it? Yeah, this guy. So he passes on So I ash him, and he passes on Gustav, Ruin Force, the battle phase negate, and Dora with a Derek Crane underneath it. So he ends on like a battle phase negate, a monster negate, and a Derek Crane pop with an immune board. So it was, I don't know what happens, man. Like we played for 30 minutes, and this is where tournament, what's it called? Tournament experience really matters. I probably played for way too long. The moment you think that you're not going to win a game, you should just scoop, because you don't want to risk double losses. And thankfully, I didn't get a double loss all day. I played quick. I told my opponents to make plays when I felt that they were playing too slow. If anything, I should have told this Earth Machine player to play a little slow, because he was reading cards at some point. Not my cards. He was reading his own cards, okay? If you're reading your own cards, that's an alarm bell. Anyway, so somehow I win game 1. And I definitely misplay at some point, because I tried to snow during the battle phase, and the Ruin Force is like, this card is a demon. When your opponent activates a card effect during the battle phase, pay half your life, negate, and if you do, half your opponent's lives. Like, that's wacky. Anyway. So at this point, I don't know how. I won game 1. Game 2, he goes activate Switchyard. Switchyard, I believe, discards a card to search, right? So I'm just like master dual brained. There's 9 minutes left on the clock. I have 1 hand trap. I ash on the first search. I learn 1 combo from the spreadsheet. If I mess it up, I explode. So what does this card do? You can send a card from your hand to the grave and add a level 10 Earth Machine. So he goes, activate Switchyard, discard a card. I ash it, and then he activates an extender. And I'm like, okay, scoop. Instantly scoop. I'm not watching a cinematic. Game 3, I get ashed. I set up my... some kind of a board. It's not amazing, but I think I threw Ash Blossom. I still managed to end on like a Teller and a Snow. So I don't know what I do. I think I like Omni Negate something. I book something, and then it goes to my turn. And it's something I didn't mention, but one of the genuine best win conditions of this deck is your Fairy Tale monsters can attack directly. You don't have to play through your opponent's board. That's how I beat Mitsurugi. Like, I played against Mitsurugi, and he just has, like, a set Murakumo, a big fucking fat Futsu, just bodies everywhere, and punching through all of that is really difficult, right? A normal deck is gonna have to, like, fight through the grind there, and this card just says, your Fairy Tales can adapt directly. So the cheat code for this deck, if anyone is wondering... You have to attack directly 5 times with 5 Fairy Tales, or you attack directly 4 times with 4 Fairy Tales, one of which must be equipped with the equip spell, which gives it 1,000 attack. So 1850 multiplied by 5 is game, or 2850 plus 1850 multiplied by 3 is game. And you can do neat tricks to attack for game, because you can attack with Luna, attack with Machigiru, attack with Snow, and then you go Wicket in the battle phase, tribute your Snow, and then special the Wicket, and then attack with the Wicket, and then you activate Snow, and you banish all your cards, and you special summon the Snow, and you attack again with Snow. So you attack, like, so that's 5 attacks just with, like, 3 bodies, the Wicket, and the Graveyard. So against, like, you know, Trains, which just has, like, 5,000 attack monsters, it's like, I just attack directly, right? So that's your typical, like, OTK line. And you have Once Upon a Time as well that you reset, yeah. That just lets you summon 3 guys and attack. So it's the easiest way to kill people. I had 15 seconds left on the clock. Remember that dog shit combo with the Alchemic Magician I was talking about earlier? If I spent time siding that, which, by the way, this is a good combo versus Earth Machine, because that deck just searches and searches and searches. If I sided the Alchemic Magician, I would have maybe won the game, technically, but I would have just lost, like, to time, right? Like, just spending like minutes like siding an extra deck card would have like lost me the game. 15 seconds left on the clock, and I attacked for game with the fairy tales. Okay, next round. What did I play against? Mitsurugi. I won the dice roll. I did full combo and I drolled him. And then game 2, he does his combo, and I managed to. The only reason that you don't lose to this deck, by the way, is this Endymion engine. Mitsurugi should be a difficult matchup, and it is a difficult matchup. But this specific one, I managed to win because of this card. People don't read, naturally, which is good. But this new engine is really cool. This is Regulus, the Prince of Endymion. We're supposed to get this card as well. Vera, the Maid of Endymion. I don't know how good this is going to make this deck in the future. But it is really, really powerful. So what this does is Regulus is just a level 4 spellcaster extender, which again is really annoying, which is kind of like what I was talking about earlier with like the whole combo like flowchart diagram of how you reach this finality of an end board. You can't do that with a lot of the cards in this deck, and even with like new cards like Regulus, they just don't do it, right? It's not a one card I mean, it is technically, but it's all choked by your normal summon. So having like multiple one card combos that are all based around your normal summon is really, really like poor, and why I think this deck isn't very good. But if you want to know what this does, Regulus reveals a spellcaster in your hand and special summons itself, and you lose life equal to the level of the revealed monster. So I was doing Regulus reveal Jenny all day because I kept drawing this dumb idiot. So you special summon Regulus, and then on summon, he can add an Empire of Endymion. Is it an Empire of Endymion or a card that mentions it? Oh, he adds any card. So some people were playing the field spell. Sorry, not field spell. The quick play. This card, Arrow of Regulus. It's got this Zeus-like activation requirement where if your guy battles, you can just pop a monster, or you can negate a spell or quick play. I chose not to play that because I'm already playing like 5 cards I'd rather not draw. So I just played the Empire. So Regulus plus Empire. You go Regulus effect special, revealing another spell. So it's not a true 1-card combo. You still need to reveal a spellcaster, but you can reveal Droll. You have a lot of spellcasters, right? Spellcaster deck, am I right? Yeah, XD. And then you go summon Regulus, add the Empire, and then Empire can add Regulus. So that's 2 bodies you have for the Wicked, and Wicked is full combo. But here's the secret effect of Empire of Endymion. And this is what people miss when they play against this deck. And you've got this up. The only reason I won that game is because I beat the Murakumo Pop. If a card you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy Regulus, the Prince of Endymion, in your hand or face-up field instead. So my opponent goes, activate Murakumo, and I'm like, sure. And he's like, okay, pop your board, get rid of your Omni Negate, get rid of your Zoroa, get rid of your... And I'm like, Empire, discard Regulus, protect. And at that point, you can't chain anything, you can't do it, because it resolves on resolution, it doesn't start a chain. So Empire Protect is a huge part of some of the benefits of this deck, I suppose. One of my opponents let Empire resolve when they had F and V and they got mogged by the protection. Yeah, sounds great. Okay, next game. By the way, if you're wondering, me and Doug are going to be doing meme review in like 10 minutes. Okay, so what happened here? What was this? I lost the roll versus Power Patron. Now, I don't know the Power Patron deck too well. If I had time and I was going to pick a deck to play, I would have played that Degenerate combo deck because Medius Archmage is probably really crazy broken, but it is a little harder to learn. So they have this card, which sounds like a custom card because it is absolutely ludicrous. This is Shade the Obscure. So you can pay 1,000, destroy Pendulum Monster in your hand or face-up field, and then add a Pendulum Monster from your deck to your face-up extra deck. So he goes normal summon Shade to pop itself and then place a guy in the extra deck. Now, I don't know this deck very well, but I'm like, okay, sure. So these all trigger when they go to the extra deck, right? So I know that there's like a choke point of like Medius. So he goes add Terminus. And Terminus reads like a custom card, right? It bends a guy, and then it adds a guy, and then it like fucks a guy. So I ash the Terminus, and he passes. So that was like, you know, some kind of like background knowledge I had that saved me there. Otherwise, I would have been... I ash on the first activation. I learn one spreadsheet combo. And if I get stopped, I explode. So game 2, his hand is bad again. He passes on... Kevin, are you here? What are these stupid cards called? I think this idiot... Non-finito. This one sets like a trap, right? Set an art mate. Yeah, his hand is really bad. He goes like non-finito, set, trap, pass. Which is like pretty bad, right? Because what does this card do? It banishes a fusion and then you can negate a monster effect. That's it. It's just Solemn Strike. My hand was pretty bad that I couldn't play through a Solemn Strike, basically. So I lost that game. Again, I think that was one of the games I must have drawn Jenny. And then game 3, I did full combo. He lightning storms, not just double warning, actually. He dusters me. So I go Teller negate. He goes lightning storm. And then he destroys my double solemn warning, which is going back to what I said earlier. The only reason I picked warning over accusation was I expected to play against more Colton. And accusation isn't that good, but just with all the board break and stuff, I should have played accusation. So if I had accusation, I could just negate the lightning storm. So another reason to play lightning solemn accusation, and for you guys to go out and buy at MSRP $69.99 Blazing Dominion, now available at your local OTS stores, courtesy of Konami Digital Entertainment, #ad. But yeah, I still have, and again, this is why board breakers aren't that good against Fairy Tail, because he blows away all my back row, he blows away the field spell negate, but I still have Snow, and I still have Zero on the field, and that locks it. Yeah, so 6-3, I had really good tiebreakers because the people I lost to were really good. The Malice player almost made top cut, and the other Fairy Tail player also made day 2. The Fairy Tail player I lost in round 2, the Malice player I lost in round 4. So they both made day 2, which meant I had really, really good tiebreakers. So I made day 2. Yay! Everyone clap. Everyone clap. Everyone clap. Can everyone clap? He said he made top 10. Wait, was he in the chat? Oh, well, there you go. Fuck me. I didn't know. I've not been reading. So I lost to a guy who went top 10, and I lost to a Malice player that I'm pretty sure went like X3 or X4, like a deep X3, X4. So I had really good breakers. So I get up day 2, bright and early. The one deck I don't want to play against, is Doomsday. Those cards have like a million words, and I haven't played against it. I played against it once on stream a week ago, and I ashed him, and I'm pretty sure, what was the other hand try? I think I ashed him and like drolled him, and I still lost. Like, oh, that deck is so scary. Now, up bright and early for a fantastic dice win versus Doomsday. I won the dice roll. I was so happy, dude. But then I opened completely unplayable. However, it turns out I'm actually just bad at the game. So I thought my hand was completely bricked up, but this was my hand. It was
Brazil.
These two. I don't remember what the rest of it was, but it was like nothing relevant. I think it was like I'm pretty sure there was a second Lacrima. So I have these two in my hand, and I cannot for the life of me figure out for like if it was. I remember actually it was a Crown, it was a Fua, and I don't remember what the fifth card was. This was my hand. I'm like, shit, what do? I don't have a play. So what I do is I normal summon Snow, pray that my opponent like thinks normal summon Snow is gonna be like linked 1 or something, so that I can chain Vera to just E-Telly out Reliona. All I had to do here was normal Snow, make Artemis, and then activate Vera. The reason I thought I couldn't use Vera is because it says, if you control a Magistus or a Witchcrafter, send a spellcaster spell from your deck to your grave. So what you do here is you just send Jenny, and then Jenny copy the Vera, and then the Vera just revives, summons out like Reliona, and then, or is it? Do you go for Zoroa here? Yeah, you'd go Zoroa here. Yeah, you go Zoroa, Wicket, full combo. Now, why didn't I do this? I didn't know this was a Magistus. I didn't know it was a Magistus. It's that simple. So I normal Snow, pray that he Fuas me so I can chain Vera. He doesn't, so I set Vera and I set Crown and pass. So, the more you know. That's his wife, bro. Yeah, dude, I watched the anime as well, man. You'd think I'd know this. Oh, my God. So that was really disappointing. Game 2, I went first and I did the full combo. He Santa Clauses me and he crowns me and I still win. Which is, again, like, you know, going first, this deck is really good. I don't think I lost a game going first where I didn't, like, break or like, get drolled. You can't beat this deck going second. It's really, really strong. If you use your disruptions correctly, it should be fine. Like, you would probably lose to, like, 3 breakers, starter, extender, maybe. But it's very layered. You have Grave Disruption, you have a field spell, you have back row, you have monsters. Like, it's very difficult to truly, like, break apart Fairy Tail board. So yeah, he Santa Clauses me, he crowns me, I still win. Game 3, dude, his end board was unreal. I don't know what he was doing, dude. Doom Z is so freaking dumb. Dude, he, like, made a rank 4, and then popped itself, and then made another Xyz monster, and then killed itself. And then he, like, popped another card, and then it summoned a big guy, and then the big guy summoned another guy who equipped a big guy. And then basically his end board was, I don't know, whatever the big guy. What's the big guy? What is the big guy? I don't know. He had the big guy. He had the big guy, he had the trap card set, and he had, this freaking idiot, which I thought was a Mastodon card. Fucking Zexal. And, like, some other guy as well. I don't remember if it was a Doom Z card, but he had Zexal, the Doom Z thing, and some other thing I don't remember. Regulus, that's it. It was Regulus. Yeah, so he had Regulus, Omni, and yeah, and I have Super Poly, by the way. My hand at that point is, like, I think if I sit here and science it out and I learn what Doom Z actually does, I think I maybe win this game. My hand was like Luna, Super Poly. I don't remember what else. But the problem was that, did he fucking droll me? I swear I feel, because I don't remember. Anyway, it was too much. Oh, the trap. Yeah, so the trap is droll. So I normal summon Luna, and I think what I'm supposed to do against Doom Z, correct me if I'm wrong, is I'm supposed to use the Luna, don't activate the effect, priority Super Poly away the Doom Z guy, that turns off their trap, right? Is that correct? And I think maybe that could have, like, I don't know if I'm beating Zexal Regulus, though, after my normal summon without resolving it. Like, my hand at that point would have needed to be extender, 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 or, like, extender, extender, breaker again. Like, so I don't think my hand was that good, but I know that I definitely should have done that. I at least would have had a chance. So yeah, that was definitely a misplay, but yeah, I don't know. That was my second duel against Doom Z. And let me tell you something, guys. If it's your second time ever playing against the deck and it's in a tournament, you haven't prepared. So I'm not going to complain. And then the next round, I lost the dice roll to Elf Note Power Patron. I Fuwa loss him, and he just draws, like, he just plays through Fuwa loss. And, like, remember what I was saying about this deck getting choked by normal summons? This guy is playing Elf Note, and he just combos me, and he just plays through Fuwa loss. He just doesn't care. He just plays through Fuwa loss. And my only non-engine, I think, was a Call by the Grave. So, like, it doesn't matter if Fairy Tail has, like, 15 cards in hand. Like, they're just all normal summons. So, I don't draw Super Poly. I don't draw Instant. I don't draw Vera. Actually, no, that's not true. I did draw Vera, but, like, I have to use Vera to freaking summon from my hand. And Vera doesn't do anything because I've drawn the Crowley at this point. And Crowley doesn't work if you draw it.
Brazil.
Like,
Congrats
oh.
on making day 2 and thanks for signing
So, yeah.
my snow. Hope
I
you
lost.
Have a good weekend overall.
So, what round was this? Round, like, 12 or something? 12, 13? Yeah. That's the story. I'm not too disappointed. Like I said, that was my second ever game against Doomsy. That's how underprepared I was for this tournament. So I did well, I think, all things considered. It's not my greatest achievement. It's not even that good of an achievement, but I'm okay with it. I'm having a baby in 3 weeks. I've been occupied. I've been recording content and filming and prioritizing other stuff. So I think it was fine. You know, I didn't completely embarrass myself with like a 2-4 drop into lunchtime. You know, at least I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh all day. So that was, it's at least some solace in that. Anyway, Doug should be joining soon, I think, for meme review. I'll answer questions until he arrives. Oh, actually, I think he said he's joining in 20 minutes. Yeah. Okay, any questions about the deck or the tournament or et cetera, et cetera. Thanks for the resub, Hazanakat. Kanzoya to making day 2. Thanks for signing my snow. Hope you had a good weekend. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the snow. Did you miss having a Typhon or something? I think a Typhon would have been maybe okay. The extra deck is kind of tight. You need 2 Chorizo for the combo. It's also good to have for the combo and, like, if you need it for combo and it's also good Super Poly target. The Mud Dragon is flexible. The Iwas is maybe flexible. Although I don't really know what you fuse. No, I wouldn't say that's flexible. You definitely want a fusion target on your opponent's turn for the Crowley. I mean, I've seen, like, all kinds of different builds of this. Like, people were playing, like, Witch of the Black Forest to search Droll easier with, like, Summon Sort. I didn't do that combo because I couldn't find the Witch of the Black Forest. And I don't think searching Droll is that good. Call me crazy, but Droll doesn't really beat the best decks right now. A good Kultun player doesn't lose to Droll, and a good branded player won't lose to Droll. Especially if they know it's there and to play around it. So, I just didn't think it was worth it. Another freaking brick in my deck, you know? Did you have fun? No, I was completely drained by that. I'm sorry if I was an asshole to anyone somehow on day 2. Like, I have a very small social battery at my age. Oh my God. Listen, I'm absolutely okay with people coming up to take pictures and signing cards and all that kind of stuff, but man, please do not unprompted just describe your game, dude. Oh my God, that's my biggest pet peeve. It's like Sunday evening. We're literally about to leave the venue. Farfa, yo, what's up? How was your day? Oh, fine. Yeah, hope you had a good weekend. Oh, man. Game 2, I lost the dice roll against this deck, and then he normal summoned this guy. So then I had a hand trap, and then I activated. I don't care. Let me go. Like, oh, dude, I hate that shit, man. Please don't unprompted give me the replays. Like, if I specifically ask about about your game, then, you know, maybe just like the cliff notes. But, dude, like, oh, just why are we venting at me? You just gave us your replays too. Yeah, but you're here for that specifically. It's a stranger. Like, it's not the same thing. What did you have for dinner last night? Dude, Japanese fried chicken. Oh, mwah. What do they call it? Karagi? It was amazing. Will you start competing more often now? No, dude. I have a newborn baby in like 3 weeks, and I have a toddler. I don't have time. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! And competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, just sitting down and being like, okay, we're going to sit and test for like 6 hours at the shop today. Like, that's so fun. I can't do that. I can't afford that. I just can't. I can't do that, you know? And then what am I supposed to do? Fly out to like some European city, enjoy like the nice weather while my wife is at home with 2 children alone? Like, I can't do that. Like, it's not fair, you know? Like, it's so depressing because I actually just love high-level Yu-Gi-Oh! It's really, really fun, you know? But, yeah, I don't have the stamina or the time for it. Because keeping up with... If you want to be good at Yu-Gi-Oh!, it's not that difficult, per se. Like, if you just play a lot, you get to a good point. You know, there's so many shortcuts you can take, like having a good testing circle, you know, Metafy coaching, things like that. But like, just sheer raw, like, bashing your head against the wall, playing duels over and over again, like, you will get to a good level. Did you open your day 2 packs? Yeah, I pulled the, what's that bad mud dragon called?
Brazil.
It looks like a tenpai, but it's not. Fangdra of the penis or something. Boobs or butts. In reference to the Asutra archetype, or you just being weird? Doomsday is the exact type of deck you would like, I think. Very combo FTK board, very fun to play through hand traps as well. Yeah, like that's another option, right? Like I suggested at the start, if you're newer to the game, if you're low on time, if you don't know the meta that well, legitimately just playing a deck like Doomsday is very good, right? Like you don't have to be technically gifted to play a deck like Doomsday and do well with it, because it's very much like binary in how your opponent beats it. Do they out the thing or do they not? Right? You don't have to really play a grind game. You don't really have to like think too hard about like your opponent's deck. Put it this way. If a Yu-Gi-Oh deck requires you to have knowledge and think about your opponent's deck, it is automatically on a level that is outside the reach of someone who is limited on time. Because someone who has more time to learn the format and act, like Kultun, for example. Like, I really, really think Kultun is not a easy deck. I'm sorry, like, people give it all kinds of, like, memes and stuff and shit on it, but I don't think Kultun is an easy deck at the highest level. It's really not. You need to really understand the format, and you need to have good reads. I say reads, you look at the opponent's hand, but, like, having knowledge of the opponent's hand is not relevant if you aren't good enough to take advantage of that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like, part of the reasons I chose this deck was linear combo, wide end board, don't have to think too hard about what you negate. If you have a close to undrawable card, is it worth going bigger on the main deck, or is it not worth the inconsistency? You said one of the cards was bad to draw. So the problem is, like, you draw your non-engine less, and there's not that much good non-engine. Like, if you really want to, like, play, like, a pile, like, you could go, like, up to, like, 3 Regulus. You could play, like, Empire at 2. You could play, like, more Genias. But then you're, like, diluting the percentage chance of drawing the non-engine. And the non-engine is really how you win, because this deck is not good going second. So you want to give yourself a high chance of drawing Super Poly. And to be honest with you, Androl and Fua and, you know, potentially other stuff as well if people are playing. What was the other board breaker that's popular that Fairy Tail players were running? Droplet, maybe? Maybe it was Droplet. How was Perulia through the tournament? Perulia was really good. For some reason, if you listen to all of my tournament report, I played against a lot of Elf Note. Yeah, I drew Perulia against Elf Note. I think I maybe saw it against, like, an Earth Machine deck at some point. Like, yeah. Perulia beats a lot of decks right now. It's insane in the mirror match as well. Funnily enough, like, this deck has a lot of special from hand. Part of you for going to Nationals, especially with all you got going on. Glad you had a good time. Thank you, brother. Did you have fun? Mostly. Is this true?
DK, I listened to my mommy ASMR while playing in the World Champ qualifiers. That good to control your anger. That could be a good thing, definitely. Okay, you may be distracted in other ways, though. You do want to limit distractions. I think there has been studies that per distraction, it's like multiplicative. It lowers your current IQ. That there could just be like a light in your IQ goes lower. This is why streamers in general don't seem to be that smart, because they're distracted by the chat, they're distracted by the camera, distracted to put on a show. So immediately on camera, I am by default always gonna be dumber than I actually am. So do take account for that.
You guys need to take account for that. It's true. Like, I am genuinely just not as intelligent online as I am in person. It's really funny. The amount of people that I meet whenever I go to events who are like, huh, he was really nice. Or, oh, you're not as, like, loud in person or something. It's like, yeah, I have, like, an IQ that isn't being debuffed right now, right? What do you mean at your age? Aren't you, like, 25? Yeah, I look young. If you have a close to undrawable... Oh, I already answered that. To me, Droll is both to auto-win versus the jungle of National, and also while Branded and Cool push through Droll fine. Going sick with the other interrupts is still extremely annoying. I almost didn't main deck Droll. And the only reason I really did is just because it's another spellcaster for Regulus to reveal. And because Nationals really is just like a big regional, and you do see a lot of like random stuff. I didn't play against one Cooltoon or Branded player, and I made day 2. Not one Cooltoon, not one Branded deck. And I'm glad that I mained the Droll, because I played against a lot of Power Patron decks. Two Mitsus. Like, the Drolls in the main were very helpful. So, it just depends on the metagame. If you're going to, like, a regional or something, more generic cards like this might be better. If you're going to, like, a YCS, maybe you want to consider, like, okay, every round I will just play, like, Branded or Cooltoon, for example. So, yeah, it kind of depends on your, what you expect the metagame to look like. Will you be playing the Duelist Cup? No, I'm not good enough to play Drake Hotel. Did you see Pokemon TCG this weekend? The Tier 0 deck is on Malice Fraud Watch, not winning a single tournament. Pokemon TCG. Their Tier 0 deck is on Okay, I don't know what that means. Guys, I'm fielding questions for Nationals and my deck from this weekend. Otherwise, Doug will be here in 15 minutes. How do you feel that they're going to ban half your Twitch chat? Grandparents with kids weekend. Keep playing Dueling Book. It was really nice to watch. Yeah, but it's boring. Dueling Book is fun if I'm like, you know, getting called a slur or some shit. But people, I don't know, maybe the Yu-Gi-Oh population is just aging. Like back when I was like a student and I was like 20 years old and I was streaming Dueling Book and like I would deliberately go out of my way to cheat and be annoying. Like, it's funny content, but I'm a grown-ass man now, dude. I can't really do that anymore. Is watch partying the event something you still enjoy doing? Yeah, I really liked co-streaming it. I was supposed to co-stream German Nationals with Jesse, but it was like 30 freaking degrees in my room, and I couldn't bring myself because it was too tiring. I got told there wasn't a day 2 pack, so I don't get one. Yeah, I was really excited to make day 2 because getting day 2, you get prizes now, but they didn't change that structure for Nationals. It's only YCSs. So I was really disappointed. I thought I was going to get a day 2 pack. Isn't the current TCG champion someone who just played Yu-Gi-Oh briefly before winning the biggest tournament in Yu-Gi-Oh? Julian? Yeah, he's newer to the game, but he plays a lot. Like, a lot. Farfa a week ago, Cooltoon is too broken. I don't understand your comment. How was Perulia? I answered that. What do you think of Josh's attempt at Duel Links? Listen, by any means necessary. That boy's going to Worlds. Do you know a good wig shop? So no one has actually, like, relevant questions, huh? Would you rather have 1 or 2 sharders? Okay. What was your favorite Nationals format? I don't think I've been to that many. I think I've only been to Nationals like 4 times. I don't know. Probably the one that I topped. Smile. How much practice did you have for the event? It was only about a week. I mean, you guys basically watched all of my practice. I streamed all my practice. It was like 2 sessions of Dueling Book and 1 IRL session at locals. 2 IRL sessions at locals. Yeah, I don't play much. I don't have time. Like, I'd love to, but I just don't have time. If it was up to me, I think in an ideal world, I would have played Kevin's deck with the Power Patron stuff and tried that. I think that deck was a really good call. I always wanted to play a heavy meta deck, a heavy combo deck, and I think that one is probably up there. So yeah. Why didn't you play Branded since you also have in Masadu? I built it in Masadu for a video with April. I am not good at it, so no, I didn't play Branded. What was the most surprising deck you saw someone bring? I mean, I played against Earth Machine FTK. That was terrifying. Like, Earth Machine FTK, dude. Like, yeah, that's that was wild. Did you see the Sweden-Tunisia score? No, I don't want to talk about it. How many times did you get a Mulch Army ashed or ashed a Mulch Army? There was one game. I think it was game 2 against the Doom Z player, by the way. Like, I felt like I was playing Master Duel. So I lost game 1, and I'm going second game 2. It might not have been the Doomsday. I think it was the Doomsday player. He goes Fua, I chain Ash. He chains Fua, I chain Callby. Like, okay, cool. What a worthless point of interaction. Why do these cards exist? Like, all right, both players just down 3 cards for nothing, you know? How did it feel to miss the greatest Scotland World Cup moment this century to play out day 2? It was a 2 a.m. match. Are you gonna keep up with the spellcasted deck as support comes out in TCG? Or are you done? I'm done with TCG probably for a while, like a long time. Like, I'm gonna keep up with TCG and watch and be entertained by it, but I can't play TCG. Like, I don't know, maybe I have to shift my content over to like competitive locals or something. But I think I'm just gonna try play like Macedo now. I have a newborn child in 3 weeks, guys. Like, I can't do Yu-Gi-Oh for like a while, dude. I gotta be around, you know? Pop it. Shut up! God, the amount of people that told me to pop the baby this weekend. You said Doomsday is a deck to learn when you're not that good at the game, but just want to get better and not think about their cards too much. What would you say is a similar deck to that in Macedo right now? I don't know. Macedo is in a very high skill format right now. It's kind of scary. Like, the easiest deck in Macedo, quote unquote, is probably like Cool Tune. And Neocraft with Floodgates is also like good, yeah. Is Vanquish so good in Macedo? Lunalight low-key is also like kind of a sleeper pick. Not a lot of people play it. I don't know how easy it is to play Lunalight, but I think if you just learn a couple... The good thing about decks like Lunalight... Dude, I'm not joking, right? On Friday before the event started, I knew that my deck's biggest like lose condition was Wicket, right? So I'm sitting there, I did like an hour of test hands where I just summon and I just play out my deck and I'm like, okay, I'm going to pretend my opponent stops my Wicket. And then I just play out the rest of my hand and then like I test and see like how I keep comboing through that. I did that for like an hour or so the night before. You can probably do that with some shit like Lunalight, right? Decks that you can solitaire are actually really good to learn. Or really good for people who don't have time. Because you don't have to like organize some big match with like a friend and like get your buddies together and play. You could literally just be like, I'm going to play Lunalight. What's the choke point in Lunalight? Like Silverhound, Gold Leo? Okay, I'm going to sit here all night. I'm just going to play against myself and I'm going to ash myself on Silverhound or Golden Leo. And then just, that's it. That's my like, you'd be surprised how much you can learn like that. It's kind of crazy. Again, I don't recommend this in general. Just saying, you should play games. You should play against people. You should play with friends. You should play against other decks. But if you have to, you cannot test Cool Tune by yourself. You cannot test Vanquish Soul K9 by yourself. You cannot test Sky Striker by yourself. Dude, I saw DZeef at like YCS like 2 or 3 years ago. The last one we met at. I think it was London actually. And I saw DZeef like fishbowling Labyrinth and I'm like, what is bro doing? Like, I'm sure you could do some test hands with Labyrinth with the furnitures, but like, what are we doing? Like, what are we testing? Like, set 5, like... So yeah, I'm going to do a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh guide at some point. I want to get that done before the baby's born. Because I think I have a very unique perspective on how to become a competitive player. Because there's a lot of things that good players don't understand and don't get. Like, a competitive player doesn't really understand what it's like to just naturally not be talented at technical play. They don't, like, do you know what I mean? There's, like, a lot of things, like, they just kind of don't get that I think the average person isn't going to, like, fully get by watching, like, guides on those things. Like, a competitive player will tell you, like, how do you win an event? Oh, you have to play the best deck, and you have to have an edge with the deck building, and play well. And it's like, That just isn't going. You can't apply that to the average player. The average player just can't do that. Like, what do you mean? Like, that's not sound advice for an average player. An average player is like all the advice I just gave, which is like, think about a deck that suits your time. Think about a deck that suits your budget, and you need to like think about a deck that works with your current circumstances. Do you have friends you can play with? Do you have good friends you can play with? Is your testing capability only online, et cetera, et cetera? Like, these are things that competitive players never have to think about because they just play against each other, right? And they test and have circles and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah. Anyway, sorry, this has been a long segment, but that's my nationals portion. Okay. We're done. If you watch this far into the video, that's on my highlight channel, whatever. Leave a hashtag. I don't know. I can't think of anything. Just say something cute. Bye.